This is the lane assignments as well as the starting lineup. Lane 1, the defending national champion, MCon Monster Energy, Myrick Coyle on the driving, John Tomlinson on the throttles. Lane 2, boat number 9, Team Farnsworth, Christian McCauley driving, Anthony Smith on the throttles. Lane 3, WHM Motorsports, boat number 5, Billy Moff driving, Jay Muller on the throttles. CJ Grant Graydell, lane 4, Billy Moore throttling, Chris Grant is the owner driver. Dirty Money Racing is in lane 5. That is driver Britt Lilly from Millersville, Maryland, and Bill Pyburn on the throttles. Lane 6, Roland Transport, owner throttleman Vinny Diorio, driver Matt Jaminski. In lane 7, CR Racing from Lake of the Ozarks, throttles Casey Boaz, Rob Understall on the wheel.
So there's your lineup, our starting grid for the final race of the Ocean City Grand Prix. Race World Offshore really enjoying 2 days here in the OC. And the APBA National Series will return here again next year. And so our boats will mill.
14 laps they're going to run.
Yep, 14 laps, 63 miles. Our boats will mill again off turn number 2 on the south end of this course. If you're just joining us, this course is a counterclockwise course. The boats go to the far north end of the course, get up to speed, line up in their lanes, and continue their lanes all the way around to turn 1.
Yep.
And when they pass by, we are located right at the start-finish line. We are in the penthouse of the Quality Suites. And when they pass here, it'll be the start of the first lap.
The second time they come by will be the end of lap 1.
That's correct.
So we've got 14 tours of this course that they have to complete to finish the race. So it'll be interesting to see who gets the setup right, who maybe is good early, but then who's better late. It all is going to be coming into play.
So these boats, some of them, well, almost as long as the 42 Fountain. 40-foot WHM is a skater.
Yep.
It's a 40-foot boat. The MTI is a 40-foot boat. And
the rest are 38 skaters, I'm pretty sure.
So SV Offshore is an Outer Limits.
Yeah, that's a 39.
And that's a 39. And for all intents and purposes, 388 skater, very comparable in size.
Yeah, the CR Racing has a little different profile because that was built with a 4-person cockpit, while the rest of the boats are 2 people. But this is a class where the inside lane can make the difference right away.
Oh, absolutely.
And having Myrick Coyle in the inside lane, as long as the boat works right, having to chase down Myrick and Johnny, who won championships together a couple of years ago, world and national, if I'm not mistaken. It's got to be like just, putting on a comfortable pair of shoes for those two to get back in the boat together.
Yeah, we're waiting for choppers to come back after. Well, I don't see the choppers anywhere, but I was under the impression that they weren't refueling, so I just don't see. There they are. There's one.
There's the Angel helicopter.
All right,
that's
so our choppers are moving back on.
And I'm seeing Rick Lindsay directly across the course from us now. So.
All right, so now they are buzzing, and we should have a start of racing here very quickly. Wrap up this wonderful weekend here in Ocean City, Maryland. Plan your next vacation here, Ocean City, Maryland, and visit OCOcean.com. A summer full of amazing events that will continue all the way into September and early fall. Again, Ocean City, 12 miles of amazing beaches up to the Delaware border, the 3-mile-long amusement, the boardwalk, world famous. Great culinary experiences here in Ocean City on the eastern shore.
I'd recommend your 2025 vacation booked around this race.
Absolutely. It'll be the start of June. Great weather. It was pleasant all week in the 70s, sometimes touching a little bit 68, 69 in the early morning. So we go back on top for our final race on the X Insurance Helicam.
Looks like they may have skipped Orange Smoke and gone right to lining them up here. I'm just looking for the pace boat. There it is, and yellow flag. So, they're
going to line them
they're
right up.
forming them right up.
Yeah, getting us on the move. So we're going to go racing, folks, and we thank you for sticking with us to get to the final race, the big one that you've been waiting for. Super Cats are ready to roar here in Ocean City, Maryland.
7 of them. In this lineup with what looks like a sneaky good lane position to me, because it's the bigger boat, is WHM in lane 3.
Now, a lot of talk about great liveries. We always forget WHM.
Yeah.
That overhead shot of that boat, that
is,
American flag streaming over the canopy.
Yeah, Billy's a very patriotic guy. Billy Moff, the owner and driver.
It's inspirational.
Okay,
all right,
green flag.
We already got a green flag, so
let's see who gets the jump here.
The race is on. The RWO Ocean City Grand Prix. It's Super Cat racing here on this Sunday afternoon on the waters of the Atlantic Ocean.
MCon on the inside and all the way out in lane.
Look at Dirty
5
Money on the
Dirty
outside.
And look at CR.
Yes, sir.
On the farthest outside lane, and let's see if CR ends up having a. Oh, they're flying already, so they're dealing with what Gladiator had to deal with yesterday, being the closest one to the beach. Let's get everyone down past this start line in one piece, and then they're going to have to hold their lane all the way through turn 1.
All right, lap number 1 goes. CR Racing edges out, but they're on the outside leg. Shortest way around the course is MCon. Look at WHM. They're staying tight to the line of MCon, but falling back a little bit. There is Gradell. They've always gotten off to good starts this year.
Dirty Money's right there. This is
SV Offshore there to the outside, about in 4th. And Gradell looks like they're battling side by side to Dirty Money.
Make the turn, guys.
Well, very close to coming in together was Gradell and Dirty Money.
Yeah,
now they try and steady that line.
Now I wonder.
See how they settle out after turn number 1.
I'm just.
It looks like MCon has the lead. Gradell in 2nd.
I'm sure.
And Dirty Money in 3rd.
They're going to be looking at those how they held their lanes going through that, because the officials have been big on hold your lane through turn 1 at all the drivers' meetings. But so MCon, leading, Gradell in 2nd.
Coyle and Tomlinson aboard as they move off the screen. Gradell has 2nd, Dirty Money in 3rd.
Yep. WHM, CR Racing, and SV Roland Transport all vying for the 4th to try to maybe pull up and challenge for the podium. But right now, Johnny Tomlinson, Myrick Coyle. Boat's got a great attitude.
Handling the waters here very well. Here comes WHM moving up.
Yep.
It's got the inside line on Dirty Money, and Gradell moving up to the outside as they move to turn number 2. So Myrick's going to hold his line.
Now
moving towards the pin now.
Because it's so similar to yesterday, do you think that gives Billy Moore a setup?
He has the advantages of running.
Did he learn something yesterday? Because Myrick hasn't been out today, and he's usually running 2 and 3 races in a weekend.
Myrick navigated a little wide of the pin and then dove in sharply towards the 2nd pin.
Yep. Now C.J. Grant's going to try to come underneath, or Gradell.
And they go to the inside. They'll try and sneak by.
Yep.
But you know that Myrick and Johnny are going to try and close the door on them.
And I'm sure that Tyler is the one on the headset on the land talking with them.
There may not be any room for them to navigate as they come down towards that finish buoy to complete lap number 1. Right now, MCon has the lead. Gradell in 2nd, and Dirty Money and WHM battling for 3rd.
And remember that because they moved that finish buoy in, is that going to, if they stay tight to this finish buoy, is that going to put them inside the line to go out on the south turn?
Well, here comes MCon.
MCon's ahead.
Turn that first lap at 87 miles an hour. So MCON has the early lead. Gradell in second.
Roland Transport's fourth, WHM fifth, CR sixth. I have not seen Team Farnsworth Hancock Claims come through. They had been having some engine troubles earlier this year. So
CR Racing just to the outside of WHM. So they're in
there
sixth.
goes Hancock Claims. They're running. So that
SV Offshore in fourth behind Dirty Money in third.
Yep,
There's Gradell.
Gradell's having to go back outside now. So going sideways, crossing through the wakes, means you're not going forward. So the more they have to do that, the better of an advantage it's going to give to MCON. And plus, you don't want to keep going through a rooster tail in salt water.
So these boats can top in out at 120, right there a little bit above in the straightaways. The trick on these boats, because they're not naturally aspirated, because they don't have a ton of torque, you've got to keep them up in the RPM band on the turn. So they're very tricky to turn. You never really want to throttle them down too much, but you got to set them into the turn, keep the RPMs up.
It's more of a trim adjustment in the turns than.
And just get it around enough.
Yeah, MCON had a 3-second lead on the outer leg.
And get those throttles back down again coming out of the turn. You see Gradell stalking the MCON Monster Energy team. They pass through the Monster Energy drink mile. Gradell, CJ Grant out of Canada.
Billy Moore out of New Bern, North Carolina. Where he works with...
diving in again across the wake of MCON, trying to take a shorter way around.
And Britt Lilly's stalking right there. If Gradell keeps moving around too much, don't you think Bill and Britt are going to try to sneak through that door?
Here come your top three boats down the chute, heading southbound off the beaches of Ocean City, Maryland. MCON, Gradell, Dirty Money dives to the inside. Looks like they get past Gradell potentially. We'll see when they pass by here at the start-finish line. But it's going to be a race to the pin. Will there be enough water between them? They almost collided earlier at the start of the race. Just came into contact with each other as they went side by side into turn number one. Now MCON moves out, moves to a lead.
Pulling away a little bit.
Gradell slides back in front of Dirty Money. They want to stay out of that spray. Dirty Money does. They're going to run out of room though, and they're already cutting across as they cruise through here at the start-finish line. 3 seconds behind is Gradell. 5 seconds behind is Dirty Money. Behind MCON, the leader.
And fourth place is Roland Transport. Fifth is WHM. Sixth, CR Racing is right there. I mean,
Roland Transport having a nice run here.
Yeah.
You see WHM and CR Racing side by side as that they follow the leaders.
Two of the taller profile boats.
So all skaters here is, again, Dirty Money looking to get to the inside to get around Gradell. They put some speed on those Goodwin competition engines being pushed to the limit.
HRE engines in Gradell.
And Dirty Money, and then Gradell, yes.
And they had to replace engines and drives after Lake of the Ozarks. That crew had a very busy week.
They respond to the challenge by Dirty Money. Billy Pyburn working those Goodwin competition engines. And again, trying to get around them, and they appear to nose ahead and into second, putting on a burst of speed. MCON
still leading, but here comes Dirty Money coming after MCON.
I mean, goodness. Look at Dirty Money pulling right up next to MCON.
Man,
the race is on the back stretch. He just edged by Gradell.
Yeah, he pulled past Gradell. Gradell is now to the outside. And And now let's just see where they are relative to the buoy, and if someone going to have to lift to make room.
Great shot from the X Insurance Helicam. Dirty Money maintaining that line, and they hit the pin.
Yep.
They'll take the lead.
Dirty Money takes the lead on halfway through, let's say, lap 3. And let's just see if they start to stretch it out like they did in Marathon.
This is reminiscent, as you just said, of the season opener. Dirty Money. Boy, their camp's got to be going nuts.
Yeah. But it's lap 3 of 14, though.
But we have a long way to go. Dirty Money. Now with about a 5-boat length lead. We'll give you an interval here as they pass. They were 5 seconds behind MCON on the last lap.
There's something about that outer leg where the boats seem to make up more time than they do on the leg closer to the beach, as far as being able to reel somebody in.
Britt Lilly, Bill Pyburn, Dirty Money. There's your money shot. Trailing now after leading the first couple of laps. MCON in second. Gradell to third. SV Offshore in fourth.
Still only about 3 seconds, I believe.
CR Racing now in fifth.
Who'd you have fourth?
SV Offshore.
Okay, so they're still holding station.
So 3 seconds behind Dirty Money is MCON.
Gradell
8 seconds back. SV Offshore 12 seconds back of the leader, Dirty Money, as we look overhead at the 388 skater of MCON. Remember, this is a North American Championship special race on the American Powerboat Association season, so it's double points.
Oh, yeah.
And Dirty Money can use them.
Yeah, I'm wondering if something might be off with WHM, because they just seem to be falling back. Or is it that everyone else is running better? Because you don't want to take away credit from someone. But
Myra Coyle and the
John Tomlinson.
Veteran throttleman John Tomlinson.
Chasing the upstart throttleman Bill Pyburn.
As we glance ahead at the Dirty Money. Both 388 skaters.
Yep.
You got Sterling Power against Goodwin Competition Power in the Dirty Money.
It's a Big Ten matchup. Michigan versus Ohio. Isn't that a good one? Is Goodwin Ohio?
Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin.
But still Big Ten.
Still Big Ten.
Yep. So there's your lead boats. On the far outside leg, again, moving to the turn. When they went around Gradell and MCON, that was impressive.
Yeah, that was just like, we're going.
They launch a little bit there, settle that boat back down. So they.
Now let's watch them come out of this turn to see if they get that hop after straightening up and coming south, because it's Farnsworth is down on the course. Hancock claims, so they were a little off the pace, but still hate to see it.
Anthony Smith looking to get a lot of work on that boat in the next 2 months.
Yeah,
that's a boat that's had a lot of mileage on it, not racing wise, but it just needs some TLC, I think, to get ready for the next race of the APBA season.
Yeah, they really.
It's a winning boat.
They need to really roll up their sleeves and dig into it.
Yeah, there's Dirty Money racing in front of the fans on the beaches here at Ocean City. Dirty Money, your overall leader here in Super Cat class after laying back and lurking in third, fourth.
And what a show they're getting. I mean,
yeah, this is American Powerboat Racing at its loudest, at its finest. Super Cat Racing here today in Ocean City.
But here comes MCON.
It definitely made some ground
up.
It's
only 2.5 seconds. And Gradell's still right there. I didn't get the interval from second to third, but CR's up to fourth. So they're making progress. Like you said, they've been steady all year. So they got past Roland Transport, SV Offshore, and now WHM is trying to come up and challenge WHM.
So MCON was 3 seconds back. Gradell now 11 seconds back of Dirty Money, and CR Racing 19 seconds back from the leader. Britt Lilly and Bill Pyburn. Dirty Money. Powerhouse Recycling.
Powerhouse Recycling, Bo told me, is actually a sponsor. Dirty Money is Renfro. I think he's in construction, similar, some type of either excavating or mining, but Powerhouse is a sponsor.
Had a look at Great Dell and MCON now back to SV Offshore.
And see if
Vinny Diorio, the Outer Limits with Matt Jaminski.
Let's see if WHM can pull up on them. Hancock lost engine power and is heading to the crane. Dirty Money has not lost power, and look at that number 3 in the same font that Dale Earnhardt used to use.
Got this boat set up perfectly for this water here, and the way that the wind changed, laid down that ground swell. It's still challenging and tricky.
Especially at 120 miles an hour.
Dirty Money.
But great attitude to that boat. Great attitude to the top three. All these boats, they're running well. Dirty Money just happens to be running better. But this is lap 5 of 14, so we'll have to see how the setup comes to or doesn't come to somebody. Looking back, it looks like WHM is making up ground on Roland Transport.
So Dirty
Money is, right now, they're the class of the fleet.
Amazing how tight the racing was there over the first 2.5 laps and how they seemingly have pulled out. We'll see what the interval is right now.
And the boat looks good. It's not, on the edge too much or anything.
So you watch WHM. You see that great livery on the boat, the American flag across the deck. They turn at number 2, head back down the beach. As we watch Dirty Money complete lap number 5. MCON running in second.
Gradell third.
Yep.
CR fourth.
Rolling Transport and WHM 5th and 6th. Eight seconds is the lead for Dirty Money over MCON. 12 seconds ahead of Great Dell. And 20 seconds in front of CR Racing. Back over head. Dirty Money, then Great Dell. They've got some new engines coming for that boat, don't they, Gradell?
They had to put new engines in.
They did put them in.
Yeah, they put new engines in. They hydraulicked them when they went in backwards at Lake of the Ozarks, and they basically had force injection water up through the exhaust when they went in transom first after that spin. So new engines, new drives. Luckily, it was fresh water, so the electronics probably weren't too damaged, but I don't want to say anything.
There's your 2-time defending world and national, 3-time national champion MCON. The part of the Monster Energy team as they cross the Monster Energy drink mile. Good shot of the Outer Limits. Diorio and Jaminski to the left of the screen, and then
WHM trying to come up on the inside of them there.
But then back to the Monster Energy team, MCON. They also run a Class 1 boat on the UIM series. Tyler Miller not in that boat, the owner throttle man. He's got, but you're going to...
Here they come to the inside, trying to shorten the course. Dirty Money opened the door a little bit there, left some room. Let's see...
Back to the outside. Dirty Money kept it tight.
Yep.
Didn't leave any room for him. Had to go back to the outside.
Well, Britt's a heck of a driver, and he's going to defend it very well, especially on this course. Do you think he doesn't want this one bad in his home waters?
That's right. Friends and families, the friends and family of Britt Lilly rooting the driver on. His Straddleman Bill Pyburn looking for that first official win for this year. They ended up on the podium, finished second overall at the World Championships in Key West. Don't forget last year. And they put a ton of work into this boat in the off season, and it's paying off. And then moving to the Goodwin competition engines has really paid off. You watch IMCON, they're trailing Dirty Money as they come across the start-finish buoy.
I've got less than 3 seconds on that one.
I've got these boats turning laps at about 96 miles an hour. We're a little bit unsure of the official mileage, but now I know that it's definitely a mile more than it was yesterday. So Dirty Money
back to third.
Yeah, Dirty Money's 3 seconds ahead of IMCON, 11 seconds for Graydell, trailing the leader as we watch them cruise on the south turn.
Yeah, they're just starting lap 7.
Rob Understall, Casey Boaz, that's CR Racing.
I think CR Racing's off the pace on the screen. Yeah, because Roland Transport just came by in 4th and WHM in 5th. So we'll have to see where CR Racing went. Yep, they're down.
Oh. Disappointing turnout for CR Racing. See if they can shake those trouble.
Yep.
If they got the hatch.
Hatch is up, and it looked like frustration when that looks like Rob, but no, that's Casey, left side of the boat, checking something in the engine compartment. Just want to make sure that it's nothing either filling up with water or getting smoky.
This boat's got a lineage of winning world championships. It's won 3 of them with 2 other owners.
And here comes MCON making a challenge on that outer leg. We talked about how the teams seem to make up time out there, but he's flying a little more right now than Dirty Money. Let's see what Johnny's got for him, if he's got anything. They did put a new Sterling engine in MCON late yesterday because they found some metal shavings that they didn't like the looks of. So they swapped them out, and half the people swapping out that motor were wearing SB Offshore shirts.
Back to our leaders. IMCON challenging. Dirty Money has the better line.
I was going to say it looked like Myrick thought about going to the inside, but then thought better of it. It looked like maybe he was going to try to make the move, but
still got a lot of racing to go.
Yep.
This is lap 6 of 14. They're finishing up. Watch those cats hop, get up into the air. As we look back down at CR Racing, broken to the inside of the course.
Now here they are running along the beach. MCON is coming through the wake now, so they're going to try to get to the inside at the start-finish to set up for the south turn. It does look like CR went, or Dirty Money went wide for some reason, doesn't it?
Depends on exactly.
It just depends on the angle.
Yeah, it depends on how close they're coming to that start finish.
Because Dirty Money's still out front.
He is, but he's got some room to the inside on the start finish buoy. But Britt's turned this boat perfectly so far in this race, and I think he's not leaving him any room again. And he made some distance up as IMCON just continues to lurk. 4 seconds behind there at the end of that lap. Now Graydell 16 seconds back.
Yeah, I wonder if Graydell was slowing a little bit.
Appears that CR Racing going to call it a day. Now Rob comes up. Not a good end for those guys. Hard work to get that boat here, and now they'll regroup for Sheboygan in 2 months. Again, following IMCON, we got Dirty Money 1, IMCON 2, Graydell 3.
4th is SB Offshore. WHM is trying to come up on the inside of Roland Transport SV Offshore here going into the south turn.
So WHM running in 5th.
Let's see what happens here. He's pulling alongside by the looks of it, but this is a deceiving angle. And
he does have the tighter line.
Yep.
Nice turn by
Billy
Moff. Yep.
He can turn that boat. The two of them together turn that boat very well. 7 seconds back, our people tell us, on the outside leg for MCON, trying to chase down. And every time you see those little gaps in the white water, that's where the boat leaves the water and then comes back down.
Dirty Money turning on the north end again. In control of this race. Myra Coyle steering that boat again, just constantly looking for a break.
Yep, just trying to find something.
In this water,
CR Racing is headed to the crane. They lost power.
In this water, I mean, all a boat has to do is lose control, get out of shape.
Yep.
And it scrubs a bunch of speeds. We mentioned the Super Cat engines are tough to get back up and running hard. And that would be the opportunity that IMCON's got to look for, but they've got to stay close enough that they can make that move should something happen and Dirty Money get out of shape.
And here's Graydell. They're falling back a little bit more than they would like.
Watching Dirty Money come by there, and they ticked it up a couple of miles per hour on that lap. IMCON running second, 7 seconds, so behind the leader. Unable to make any substantial ground.
Nope. And then Graydell right now is kind of alone in third. They're not challenging, but there's a pretty big gap back to fourth. I mean,
Graydell. Boat has been super competitive the last 2 years. Came just 10 points away from winning the national championship 2 years ago.
Yep.
And were in contention as well until maybe one race at the end.
Now, was that the AMH boat?
Yeah, it's a former steel boat.
Okay, now
IMCON ran it.
WHM is up to fourth.
The WHM has just moved up to fourth.
And SV Offshore Roland Transport. Backside is still 7 seconds between Dirty Money and MCON. So Bill and Britt are controlling the race right now.
Looking at Vinny Diorio's outer limits. He's on the throttles. Matt Jaminski, veteran poker runner, joined him last year on the wheel.
Yeah, and he's out of hydroplane country in Evansville, Indiana. WHM maybe coming to it. Maybe the setup's coming to him, but he's got a ways to go to reel in third.
Great shot of the outer limits. Very dedicated offshore racer. Super nice, fun team.
Yep.
The SV Offshore guys.
As I said yesterday, half the people working on the engine in the MCON pits was the SV team.
There was some big ups by Dirty Money. Got that boat stuck back to the water and now back up again as they battle the lessened groundswell here this afternoon off Ocean City. Continue to lead now. This is finishing lap number 8 of 14. continuing to maintain their lap speed, turning it in 3 minutes, 3 seconds.
Yeah, the interval is still about 6 seconds, 6.5 between first and second. Yep.
So 6-second lead. Gradell here comes through, continuing to hold on to third after running up front early.
At this point, it would be good for Gradell to hold on and get the podium spot.
They need the points.
Yeah, especially with the double. Now, is Sheboygan double too?
I don't think so. You know, Sheboygan was a Mercury event last year.
Right.
And is it? I think it's now just Powerboat Racing, or do you know? Because they had F1 boats last year. There's WHM Motorsports. But yeah, it's a second-year event.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't believe so. WHM Motorsports. There was briefly on the screen. You can see the interval between Dirty Money on the left of the screen, followed by MCon continuing run in second. Remember, and again, back to Billy Moff and Jay Muller, the 40-foot skaters. Should be the last year these guys run it. They have a new boat coming out of Peter Ledden's shop in Skater. Probably debut next year.
Up in Douglas, Michigan, unless they somehow try to get it ready for the Worlds, because you can run one boat for the national season, but I think you can debut a boat at the Worlds. I'm just not sure.
I don't think, though, that once Billy moves into that boat, that will be the last time we see that 40 skater, because it's a legendary boat.
Yeah.
It's won a lot of world championships. It's got quite the lineage of itself. I think 3 of the 4 that he's won in Supercat since 2012 are in that boat, or they may all 4 be in that. I'll have to clarify that with Billy next time I see him.
Well, he almost had that sold last year at Key West.
Yeah, he did, but he had it. I guess he probably found out his boat wasn't quite going to be ready to go yet. And Billy's got a race.
Yep.
So he's got 5 more years in him. And again, I'll say it again, sweet livery, love it. Love the American flag over the deck.
Yeah, especially that angle. That's a cool angle right there.
Very good stuff. Billy Moff, dedicated Supercat racer with Jay Muller on the throttles and WHM Motorsports, running in 4th overall. We get back to the leaders. Lap number 9.
SV Offshore, Roland Transport appears to be out, but your leader, Dirty Money, just crossed again. Looks like the interval might be right around the same, 5 seconds or so. Second place, MCon.
Turned that lap at the same speed and came through in 3 minutes and almost 3 seconds. These are long days, people. A lot of names, a lot of numbers.
Gradell, for some reason they've had to back off.
CJ Grant and Billy Moore in the 388 skater with HRE power.
Holden down third.
Yeah, we'll remind you that the results of today's races are unofficial until inspection checks off on post-race inspections and that there weren't any infractions on the course. Teams will be handed checkered flags respectively, though, when they finish. And this is our last race of the day. The Supercats. The Roaring Cats of APBA National Racing. It's Dirty Money. Bill Pyburn, Britt Lilly on the wheel. Having the lead on top with the X Insurance Helicam of Gradell. Canadian CJ Grant with Billy Moore, another 388 skater.
I think that was in the MCon fleet at one time.
Yeah, it was MCon 1 year after AMH, Steel. And I remember asking Tyler, I'm like, you sure you want to sell that boat to those guys? Are you having any regrets? Because the boat came right out when they won right away.
I think it won at Coco.
And it was a great, supposedly rough water boat, but
yeah,
those guys challenged for the national championship. We see Dirty Money getting a little air 2 different times there off that turn, and he kind of says, you got to know, but yeah. One thing I love about Tyler Miller, he loves the competition, and while he doesn't like to lose,
right,
he knows that competition, breeds
having more competitive boats only makes the sport better.
Absolutely.
And so, for him to sell that to Chris, knowing what Billy was going to, what the team was going to do to to set it up and make it competitive.
And MCON, quite a run over the last few years. Looks like they've got a challenge in front of them to defend this national championship and world championship. Dirty Money is a force to be contended with. Again, coming around just shy of 3 minutes, 3 seconds on that lap.
Just about 3 seconds, 5 seconds.
5 second interval to MCON. And again, they're close.
Yeah. You just wonder if the wily veteran, Johnny's got something up his sleeve, but I don't think he'd let him start getting 5 and 6 seconds away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this is, that would tell you.
Let's watch this back stretch and see what happens, because in the earlier races, this is where we saw boats make up time, was out on the outer leg. So let's see if MCON has something here, because he's taking the outside line, kind of, keeping it spooled up.
When MCON's coming out of the water, they're not quite coming as far out of the water.
Yeah.
But Dirty Money
looks a little more level.
You're right.
MCON's carrying the nose a little more. So.
And when they completely come out of the water, I mean, they're right back on it. 6 seconds back here on that back.
6 seconds on the back stretch. So not much of a difference, because they were 5 seconds at the finish line.
Great look at those number 6s, the sterling power of MCON.
And WHM is running sterling as well.
We look overhead.
Whoa, look at this.
Yeah, up on him quickly.
All of a sudden.
Well, they were off frame. I wonder if something happened there and they got out of shape. Dirty Money. Because now that 6 second interval is gone.
Not too long ago, Matt Trulio texted me and said, JT Water. So what does he know? He knows, but does he know something we don't?
Matt Trulio of the live stream crew, along with Mike Yowalski, that will be in Sheboygan for the next race. We'll be following the series as they move on to Sheboygan, Wisconsin next.
Yep.
Our next broadcast will be in Clearwater, Florida.
In September.
At the end of September, and then we'll be back for the World Championships for 3 races in Key West for the November World Championships presented by Race World Offshore. All the details about Clearwater and Key West available at raceworldoffshore.com. Here comes Dirty Money.
Almost wonder if someone got no one got word to them because they haven't stretched anything really. They're still leading.
Yeah, and they didn't lose any. They lost about a second of time. So
yeah, I had 2 seconds there, and so did JW. So.
Yeah. 2 seconds.
So is MCON sneaking up on him, getting ready to
or did
reel
they
him in?
just were they sticking to the water a little bit better? Anyway, all we can do is speculate. Those guys will have a little bit of better idea.
Yeah.
But man, you can't. This is
Super
Cat Racing.
Turn.
It's Super Cat Racing at its finest with MCON.
Okay, Myrick just dedicated himself to making the move to the inside, but now he's got to go back out.
And he's losing speed.
That's
a lot of turning. Never. never the best way to go.
The fewer the turns, the faster the lap.
So we get back on board with 54 Great Dell. That logo on the side of the boat, the Too Much logo, is a caricature of C.J. Grant. He drove
Chris,
he drew it himself. It's hilarious. I love it. I have it on my computer. I asked him for a sticker. I put one on my truck.
I need to take a closer look at it.
Yeah, it's great. It's got a cigar in it, and his hands are kind of up like, too much?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, that was their joke when they started testing boats was, the guy that was driving it was telling the throttle man, too much.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going too fast. Oh, Dirty Money launches off a wave. Settled back in. Imcon surely was able to grab some water there. Span some distance.
Now Imcon just took a launch.
They did. Boy, these teams are battling it out.
And that's the thing is it's such a fine touch on the trim. You go up a little too high, that's when you launch. And then you got to bring it back down so you don't lose the forward momentum.
It's a battle of 388 skaters all at the top of the Super Cat race here in Ocean City. Goodwin Competition Power and Dirty Money, Sterling Power and Imcon, HRE and Great Dell. Down the south stretch. Once again, this will be the conclusion of lap number 12. And Dirty Money stretch it out a little bit from when Imcon was running up on their stern not so long ago. These two battling it out. And they turned the dial up on that one. They came around on that lap 3 minutes, 1 second.
Yeah, 4 seconds. They doubled the interval from the last lap to this one.
So I had them up 2 miles an hour on that lap, Dirty Money. Running in second, Myrick Coyle, John Tomlinson, Imcon, part of the Monster Energy racing family.
And here's Great Dell.
2 laps to go. Turned out to be a fantastic weekend of weather here in Ocean City, Maryland. Can't thank our host here, the city of Ocean City, the town of Ocean City, for their hospitality and their professionalism. Supporting this race with amazing signage and organization. Tremendous race program with pictures of the boats. It's definitely a keepsake. So we look at Great Dell continuing off in third. Now back to our leaders. As Dirty Money continues to hold off the Imcon racing team.
Or do they?
Man, you just caught it right at the right time, and all of a sudden,
here goes Imcon.
Imcon goes around Dirty Money.
Oh boy. And now Britt's got to go through the wake and go outside, and that just cost them big, unfortunately.
And they don't quite look like they're running like they were running before either.
No.
And Imcon has taken the lead here at the Ocean City Grand Prix. And they are pulling away.
Yeah, the checkered flag's out, dude. Checkered flag's on the pace boat. They're getting ready to wave it.
So Imcon coming around. Looks like they could be the winner of this Ocean City Grand Prix.
What a move at the end there.
As MCON
if we're
charges ahead.
If we're seeing this today, yep, the checkered flag is waving. MCON made the move on the last turn at the tail end of the stretch and takes the win. Wow.
And Dirty Money
takes second.
Finish about 8 seconds off the pace. This is going to be some kind of season.
I'm happy for, obviously for Johnny and Myra, but you got to feel for Britt and his home race, leading 90% of it. And now Graydell is just going to try to get around because they look like they're falling off.
So big day for MCON.
Yeah, can WHM catch? I don't think they have enough to catch Graydell, but let's see what happens here.
No, Graydell's running.
Graydell's all right.
Yeah, they're doing fine.
Wow.
Well, just as we looked up.
I was literally, Larry Blyle just came into the main live stream area and said, what happened? And I looked up at the north end of the course, and Todd said, I think Dirty Money has it. And I said, or do they? And then MCON went right around
it. It was that quick that MCON
because they were
spanned the difference, and
most of the time when someone would make a move, they were making it on the outer leg, going north, and they went around them, and then Myrick went underneath, right?
We didn't have the camera shot really of if anything happened, but it did seem like Dirty Money had a little less of something.
Yeah, right at the end there, but a wily veteran. Let's see what Johnny has to say about this one. And there's no diver drop today, so they're not going to do the...
That is the conclusion of racing. We'll get one more great look at the WHM Motorsports boat here in front of the fans in Ocean City one more time. A wrap-up of Super Cat Racing. That was full of some mystique and pretty awesome if you're an MCON fan, as they come around on the last turn and get past Dirty Money, who had been just dusting them.
Or if you're a competition fan.
Absolutely.
You know, that was just amazing.
It was. It was surprising the way he went past him like a blink of an eye.
Unofficial still. Of course, they got to go through inspections and everything.
All results today unofficial until final inspections are made.
But wow.
MCON. But still,
I see.
Great.
I think Dirty Money headed straight in. They're not. Oh, there they are. They're still out in the middle of the course, but because MCON's waiting for their well-earned flag, they're going to roll it up and bring it over to them. I think we're going to get a pretty good flag-waving celebration from Myrick out.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he drove his tail off.
He definitely drove his tail off. And MCON, Dirty Money put on quite a show here today.
Oh, it was outstanding.
This is going to be one duel.
Yeah.
For the APBA National Series all the way to the end. And I can't wait for the World Championships in Key West.
I can
3 days of this.
I can only imagine how bad Tyler wants to get back in the boat now.
Oh, we got ourselves competition. You know that Graydell, WHM, CR Racing, SV Offshore, Hancock Claims, the rest of these guys are going to spend the next 2 months.
Yep.
And they've seen where the bar is.
Oh, geez. Oh, they got it. Okay.
And this Super Cat season is going to be something special.
Yeah, it's I mean,
you got rivalry brewing.
Yes. But I'm sitting here like, when Matt texted me JT Water, and I was kind of like, I don't know, man.
Big win for the MCON team.